Yes, right? Meteorologist Elita Loresca. Y'all thought I was going to say something very dramatic, huh?
No, that's okay. That's all right. I'm always prepared. I'm like, okay, how's he going to toss it to me?
Tuesday
I love it. I love it. All right, Brandon, this morning we've got conditions pretty nice out the door, nice and dry out there over downtown. You can see our tower cameras this morning showing light that there's not a lot happening right now, but we are monitoring for a few of these showers and thunderstorms still to form along our coastal communities. In and around Lake Conroe this morning, there's some overcast conditions. My friend, not another vacation for me until the holidays. Yes. All right, weather-wise for today, we've got a good-looking forecast for you. In fact, a nice little treat this morning as some rain back in the forecast, and I've got the timeline for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, peak of hurricane season, but hoping all is well. That's what we've seen so far this hurricane season.
So far, so good. I can tell you that that this first week of September should be quiet in the Gulf. Not so much in the Atlantic, where we've got a tropical wave. It now has medium formation odds, up to a 60% chance that this could become our next depression or maybe even our next named storm. And there are signs that the system is going to get its act together as it encounters some low wind shear here in the central and eastern Atlantic, along with some very warm sea surface temperatures. And so by a week from today, not until early next week, is where we find that this system could get a little bit closer toward the Caribbean. Now, some models are saying that it takes more of a northerly turn from the Caribbean, and then there are models that take it into the Caribbean. And these are the type of scenarios that we can anticipate for this time of year. In September, we usually start to see an uptick in those tropical waves, but also with fronts that move into the Gulf. These fronts sometimes can be a breeding ground for tropical systems to form. So this latest front we'll be watching in the days ahead for some disorganized showers and storms, but also Pacific storms. Pacific storms can recurve this time of year, especially as we get into October, and send moisture in our direction. And that might be something that we'll have to monitor as we get into early next week. A little piece of energy from these tropical systems coming in from the eastern Pacific. So we've got a lot to watch as we get into that peak time of the year, that peak hurricane season, which is officially September 10th. All right, let's talk about our local weather. What's happening this morning? We do have some showers and storms, mainly along the coastline, so inland areas are looking good for now. A few scattered clouds. Down in Galveston, no flashes of lightning per se, but we definitely have some raindrops that we've been tracking along the west end of Galveston Island and down toward Matagorda and Calhoun County. A live look over Montgomery County, taking you to Lake Conroe this morning, and it is a lovely start there. We've got some lower dew points, some lower humidity, so that is allowing for at least those feels-like temperatures, definitely more comfortable. Now, where we're seeing some fog developing is over toward Liberty County. It's not super dense this morning. We've got visibility just above a mile, but do know those are going to be some of the counties that we look for to see some fog developing over the next few hours or so. Meanwhile, here's that frontal boundary. Notice that front is still generating some showers and storms. This front is going to continue to slide southward deeper into the Gulf as a northerly breeze comes in. We've seen a few spotty rain showers that have now dissipated over San Luis Pass and Jamaica Beach, and there's some additional showers and storms, but you can see that they are drifting away at this point from the coastline. Not ruling out a few showers, couple of thunderstorms later this morning into the early part of the afternoon as that northerly wind continues to blow in. It's going to connect with drier air that's still over the northern parts of our state. And as that drier air continues to blow in, that's going to diminish our rain chance, especially overnight tonight into tomorrow. So I've broken down the rain chances for today. The further north you go, the lesser chance you're going to encounter any sort of wet weather. The closer you are toward the coastline, at least some scattered showers. A brief heavy downpour will be possible, at least through the early part of the afternoon. Temperatures will go from the low to mid 70s, which is where we are currently, to highs in the low 90s, which is a slight uptick from yesterday. Yesterday we warmed to 90 degrees. Today forecasting a high of 92, but further out to the west it gets even warmer, somewhere into the mid 90s. And then overnight we'll respond with that northerly breeze finally connecting with that drier air. It's not a huge cool down, but definitely going to be feeling better out there the next couple of mornings. So get out there and enjoy. For those of you that get that early morning workout, on and you do it outdoors, you're going to notice the difference the next couple of mornings with those dew point temperatures coming down a bit. And then we see that uptick, that slide back up in the sticky 70s or near 70. And that's because the onshore winds will be resuming. And with those onshore winds means some clouds and even...
Let's see how we're starting off the month.
It was a stormy one for sure over the Labor Day holiday weekend. We are going to be drying out as we get back to work, back to school toward the end of the week before those rain showers return for the weekend. Doesn't look like it's going to be a complete washout, but there will be those rain chances again. I'll have the latest details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Popping up along the immediate coastline, there's still enough moisture in place for those showers and thunderstorms this morning, but you'll notice what is upstream. That is some drier, low humidity air that's going to be filtering into southeast Texas. How long does this drier air stick around? I've got the details coming up in my full forecast. But first, your Texas Highs report, sponsored by GenPro.com. We've got a cold front that has moved offshore. Behind that front, we've got a northerly breeze, and that northerly wind eventually going to draw in some more drier air. Now, that dry air in place definitely being felt in areas like Abilene and Amarillo, where not only are they dealing with lower dew point temperatures, lower humidity, but also some lower temperatures. We're not there yet as far as the temperatures are concerned, but we're definitely there with some lower humidity on the way. And you'll notice it as you step outside this morning, and even more so Wednesday and Thursday morning as we start to see those dew point temperatures trending downwards. And then a slow uptick in the moisture levels as the moisture returns from the Gulf. This morning we still have the northerly breeze blowing 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, so nothing too strong out there. We could see some occasional gusts maybe later on this morning into the afternoon, close to 20. But with that said, it's that drier air that's going to make things feel more pleasant. It's still going to warm in the low 90s, but it's going to be more of a dry heat versus a steamy one. 74 right now for our friends waking up in Bryan College Station. The feels like temperature of 74, and that's really what we're going to find, is that the air temperature will be similar to the feels like temperature. Most of that moisture with it. The moisture is close enough this morning where we've got some showers and thunderstorms developing along the coastline, and some of this moisture could get flung in our direction as we go forward into the morning, early part of the afternoon. But then that northerly breeze should win out, as well as that drier air for Wednesday, Thursday onshore. Offshore is where most of it should stay over the next couple of hours. But then we get closer toward 9, 10 o'clock, and there you can see some brief heavy downpours. 40% chance south of Interstate 10, closer to that I-10 corridor, and to the north, 20% chance or less that you're going to encounter one of these rogue showers or thunderstorms early this afternoon. And then by the evening, we're drying out. And you can see that probability there in a map form. 73 degrees this morning in Brenham. Good morning, Sealy, Belleville. Yeah, feels good where you are. 74 degrees, not bad in Fort Bend County, in the mid-70s. Waking up in the city of Siena this morning. Missouri City, Rocheron. Good morning to our friends waking up there. Not looking too bad this afternoon. Temperature readings will be in the low 90s, but out west, we're talking LaGrange. Those of you in Bastrop, temperature readings will be a little bit warmer into the mid-90s. And we'll see a nice drop-off overnight with at least that lower humidity. Temperature readings will cool down some, especially in our far north, northeast county. Yeah, that's a 6 in front of that number, some upper 60s there. So enjoy the next couple of mornings as that dry air continues to filter through, because by the end of the week, here comes the Gulf moisture, and it's going to be blowing in at ahead of that frontal boundary. That frontal boundary, unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to push all the way through. At some point could stall, and that boundary will eventually be the focus point yet again of some showers and thunderstorms beyond the weekend. And when you put the rainfall totals together over the next 7 days, north of I-10, less than an inch of rain, but closer to the coastline is where we may pick up 2-3 inches of rain. And similar to what we experienced last week and even over the weekend, there could be those isolated spots that deal with some ponding or even some street flooding as we get deeper into next week. We'll be watching that for you. But get ready. We've got some nice for the rest of the week.
All right. Sounds good, Alita. Okay, we'll see you guys at the top of the hour on our 24/7 stream. Don't go away.
Have a